little, and it's because I was sad, and they they just didn't know what to do, and they didn't understand my sadness, and I didn't know how to explain it better than that. And so I was like, I guess that in the end, this experience of being abroad, of loving people so much that like making families that do not share blood with you somewhere else, that's just something that is so personal, and that I love it, and I would like to share it with some other people, but there's just no way that I just don't have the words or the ability to let them, to show them how I feel about that.
It's so hard, right?
It is so hard. And then I also, we read this book last semester for HDSR. It was about the Japanese culture.
What is it?
It's called The Anatomy of the Self.
Right.
Have you read it?
Yeah, of course. I love it so much. Now
Yeah,
since
like
class.
Hone and Tatemae, right?
Right.
And so Hone is the inside, and then Tatemae is the outside, like the mask or whatever we show to other people. And then the writer was afraid, like he was pro secrecy kind of. He was like, there are some stuff, there are some aspects in our life that have to be ours only. And so I guess that I adopted that idea or philosophy or whatever in that sense, like in that case. Like UWC and Erlem are very just my they are my experiences, they are mine, and yeah, I can talk about people I've met, I can tell them what I've done here, but in the end I'm just not gonna try to let them, to show them how I feel anymore, because it's impossible.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it as well. It's so unique and it's so mine. It's just, it belongs to me and no one else. And so.
And it's really strange, right? Because like we often consider our family our uchi, like our small group. But there are things that are even in our home we cannot share with our uchi. So I think that when we go to many places and we develop new families, as you say, we have different uchi, and each uchi has a set of hone. So for example, if you tell me about very intimate things in your family, I cannot feel the same, right? So like, but because I'm also an Erlem student, so if you tell me like some hone thing about Erlem community,
Here.
I may be able to feel so broadly.
To be honest, I don't feel that. Not related. I don't feel that much confidence. I don't know what's the word. Like with my family anymore, I don't feel like when I'm there I am being myself. I feel like I have to have this tatemae most of the time instead of my hone. Well, here I still feel that I have to have that tatemae most of the time. But then with the people that I felt that I could just be myself, it was with my best friend and my ex-boyfriend, and I just felt so comfortable with them, and it was so much fun, and our understanding went beyond words. Like I didn't even have to explain how I felt to be understood, and I loved that, and then I realized I had that until I left them. So, and here, like, I am so happy with my friends. I love them, and I have even more friends that I had at UWC. I've had very interesting conversations, and this is a great place as well, but I still don't feel that I have found people with whom I can feel like that again. And then, when I think about that, it's like, I get sad, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, it was unique as well. It had to happen with them, and maybe it's gonna happen in the future. I don't know. I hope it's gonna happen, but in case it doesn't, it's like, okay, at least I lived through that, and I had that experience, even if it was for a short time, and I'm gonna be forever grateful to them for that.
I can totally understand the feeling. And sometimes it feels really strange, like for example, it's only me that feels strange, but after some classes, like especially philosophy or psychology, we have very interesting discussions. We share very intimate personal stories. Like when we step out of classes, we just I don't know why it just become a little awkward, like as if we have never talked anything, as if we are just normal friends. Because like the stories that I often share in my psychology classes, especially Nelson's class, are very personal story, and I share them with friends I trust and with specific environment in specific. I don't know why. Like I cannot develop very close relationships with all friends.
Yeah.
Probably they listen without paying that much attention.
We were talking about that a few days ago, about how we are kind of together, like we are in the same place, but sometimes we feel that we are alienated from others, or that we are far away from them. Like sometimes there is a lack of empathy or understanding. I don't know. But I guess it's the environment, maybe. Like we are all in our own thing. We have our classes. We are busy. We are stressed about our major, and so that.
Yeah, probably that's also. I think that when we step into that class, it's a different environment, it's different atmosphere. But when we step out, we are back to our busy life, in individualist life, and we're separated from each other again.
When you have
Yeah.
when you have like that time to share very personal things about yourself, I guess that you kind of free yourself from that, from all that stress, all you're thinking about. Like right now, I'm just thinking about like my family and relationships and da 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 da. But then when you get out of that classroom, for example, that metaphorical place, like you get all the burden at your back again. Like, oh, I have to apply for internships. I have to study for this class. I have to, and then you just forget it all. And I think that's part of the American society, kind of, that you always have to be productive, always have to be the best, have to compete with others. And at UWC, it was a little bit like that. But I always try to, and I still try to, but it's harder to do that here. But at UWC, like, I remember at the end of my second year, I was just like, I came here not to get like the best grades. I came here to learn, and I have learned a lot. I came here to make friends. I came here to discover myself, and I have, and I'm so happy with that. That like classes and grades and duties are like something else. Right now I'm just kind of enjoying my life. Yeah. And then it was easier as well because we had the sea right next to us, or we could go to the city and there were actually people outside, and it was just easier to get a break from college and academics and all this stress. But yeah.
Actually, it brings to my mind the dichotomy between spiritual and pragmatic. So, like, it's easier to be intimate, or to be like to understand each other when you discuss like spiritual thoughts, like some deep thoughts like this. But, like when you discuss pragmatic concerns, it's harder. And what I feel when I come back is that I'm surrounded, like suddenly surrounded by so many pragmatic concerns. I have to visit my neighbors and all those things, and I see my parents doing very boring things. And like when I'm away from here, when I talk to them, it's when we discuss very intimate things. But like when I'm home, it seems that they represent themselves fully, with all their boring and all those things that I don't like very much. Like at least here I like studying, so it's spiritual for me. But like at home, there's no that like that kind of special atmosphere. It does not exist. So it's harder for us to start a conversations that will bring us together.
Yeah. And also your family, you kind of give it for granted, like
Take it for granted.
yeah, like take it for granted, like they are always there, and I guess that you kind of assume that they know you.
I think
Right?
yes.
But then when you're here, you have like people you don't know, and you have to. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to make good, close friends, you have to show them who you are and grow with them.
Yeah.
And so it's like starting to know someone from zero. It's like they really get to know who you are at that moment. Our parents, they are like, yeah, Gaby, she was a baby and she was mad all the time. So now she's that person still. No, she's just older. But then that's like the advantages of like coming to a new place. Then you can just reinvent yourself, and people accept that. If they are real friends, they're gonna be there for you for that. And like, yeah, it's like to make a change, to change yourself is much easier when you're in a very different, in a new place. I think because people don't know you, and that's why I was excited about going to EWC, because I just wanted to have my own time, to be alone, but with some other people at the same time. I don't know. It was like a self-discovery thing. But yeah, so you're here, and it's easier to talk with your friends about like these topics, or because you've never talked about that. So when you bring this topic up, it's like, hey, there's a lot I can talk about right now. I can tell you all my stories about my quarrels with my parents and the good things here and then. So it's new, and
It's new, right?
Yeah.
And it's exciting. Why at home it seems, yeah, you're right. But like somehow, okay, this is the last question, but like talking about understanding. So that's also my new realization from this semester, because I think that at some point I also assume that because we are so close, this community is so close knitted. So it seems that everyone will know me as well as my close friends and family knows me. But like now I realize that even my family cannot know me that well. And how can I expect that everyone in this community know me? And the strange thing is that because this community is so small and so close, so like if you may expect to see someone like several times during the day. First time you may be curious about the person, interested in the person, but you don't know the person and don't have any ways to know the person. So then second time, third time, you see each other without, and you know each other's existence without even saying hi. And somehow there's a tension that develops every time you see the person. That's something that happened to me.
Yes.
So like it's real awkward. So like I really, you say that you do not really see me recently because I have been avoiding going to public places because I'm not very good with just say hi to everyone. It's just exhausting for me.
Yeah.